All right, so ready to ditch that just okay job and land something amazing.
Well, you've come to the right place.
We are diving deep into the book Next Job, Best Job by headhunter extraordinaire Rob Barnett.
Get ready to rethink how you approach your career. We found some really eye-opening stuff.
You know, I was blown away. And we're not just talking about tweaking your resume. This is like a whole mindset shift.
Right, definitely. It's about strategies for navigating a job market that just seems to constantly be changing these days.
Well, constantly.
Rob is all about trusting your intuition,
Okay.
being radically honest,
Yeah.
and even a bit of what he calls social media voodoo.
Ooh. Okay, I am so in. The thing that just jumped out at me right away was that stat from the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Yeah,
Average person now only stays in a job for 4 years.
I know.
Like what?
It's crazy.
4 years. Think about, our parents' generation.
Oh, yeah.
25 years, gold watch, that's it.
Totally different
Yeah,
world.
you're done.
So different.
Gone.
And because of that, job changes are the new normal. But Rob's whole thing is, you shouldn't see that as scary. You should embrace those transitions as opportunities
Totally.
to kind of level up.
Makes sense. It's like you're not just clinging to what you know, you're constantly learning, growing, evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of evolving, Rob is a huge, huge believer in the power of intuition.
Big time.
In fact, that's how he found his own path as a headhunter,
Yeah, following his gut.
by following his gut.
It's actually a wild story.
Okay, ready? Tell me.
He had, a super successful career in media. He was the president of CBS Radio,
Wow.
but then he gets laid off, right?
Wow.
And so he just starts making these raw, honest videos about his struggles with job searching,
Yeah.
which is kind of unexpected. And that just totally unexpectedly leads him to this career in headhunting.
That's such a plot twist. Like, he literally just stumbled into this passion by being authentic and sharing his experiences.
Right.
It makes you wonder, though, how often are we ignoring our intuition?
I know, all the time. I know I do.
Me too. Those little nudges. It's like, not gonna listen to that.
Exactly. Rob talks about cultivating that intuition. How do you quiet the mind? How do you kind of let those insights bubble up?
Okay.
He's big into meditation,
Yeah.
nature walks, even just listening to music, anything that kind of helps you tune out all the noise
Just tune out the noise.
and just listen to yourself.
Yeah.
I want you to think about when you've felt those gut feelings in your own career, what happened?
Yeah.
How did it impact the path that you're on now?
Yeah.
It's all about recognizing those moments and really trusting yourself more as you navigate that next job search.
Right. So think about it. When have you felt that gut feeling? And how did it impact your path? I love that we're connecting this back to our own experiences.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to read advice and think, okay, sounds good.
Sure.
But it's totally different when we can remember those times
Absolutely.
that we followed our intuition. Things worked out.
Yeah. It's powerful stuff. And speaking of powerful, another big theme Rob talks about is truth-telling. He's a big believer in radical honesty,
Okay.
both personally and professionally.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all about aligning your actions with your values, which builds trust and authenticity.
Right. And I feel like sometimes that means having some tough conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever felt like you weren't being heard at work?
Mm-hmm.
Rob tells the story about having to, confront his boss
Oh, wow.
about a situation that just was not working.
Yeah.
And instead of just, suffering in silence,
Right.
he chooses to speak up.
Good for him.
And you know what? It actually opened up possibilities for change.
Even if
it meant moving on from that job.
that's so important.
Yeah.
Speaking your truth.
Yeah.
Even when it's really uncomfortable.
Right.
Because whether the situation improves
Right.
or you realize it's time to move on,
Totally.
at least you've addressed the issue head on.
Yeah. You're not just sitting there quietly stewing about it.
Exactly.
So, honesty, intuition. Got it.
Got it.
What else do we need in our job hunting toolkit?
Yes?
Because I'm guessing a killer resume and a cover letter just aren't going to cut it anymore.
You are correct. Rob is a big, big advocate for what he calls marketing yourself authentically.
Okay.
Now, I know some people hear that and they cringe.
Yeah.
Ugh, self-promotion. But think of it this way.
Okay.
Think of it as sharing your value with the world. So let's say you're an amazing coder.
Yeah.
It's not bragging to let potential employers know you're the coding ninja they've been searching for.
Right. Okay.
That-
That makes it feel less icky.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about owning those
Yeah,
skills
yeah.
and your expertise
Mm-hmm.
and like letting the right people know what you bring to the table.
Okay.
Not being afraid of that.
Okay. So I'd like that. It's
Yeah.
about owning my skills and expertise and just letting people know what I can bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you do that without sounding like a used car salesman? Right. Well, it's all about being genuine, and focusing on how you can help others. And here's a great example. Rob actually credits a random Twitter interaction for landing him, like a major business opportunity. He calls it social media voodoo.
Wait, hold up.
I know.
Tell me more about this voodoo. I'm very intrigued.
He wasn't even actively looking for clients,
Okay.
but he shared some insightful comments on a tweet, right? Someone noticed his expertise
Yeah.
and bam, new client.
Wow.
It just highlights how even those casual online interactions can lead to major career shifts.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate the power of social media.
Okay.
Use it strategically,
Uh-huh.
Connect with people in your field, engage with their content,
Yeah.
share your own insights.
Okay.
It's all about building those authentic connections.
Showcasing your expertise. Think of it less as selling yourself and more as attracting the right opportunities to you.
I like that a lot. Okay, so being present and engaged online is key.
Yes.
But here's the thing, with all this talk about skills and strategy,
Mhm.
it's easy to get caught up in that how-to and forget about the big picture.
Yes.
What are we actually striving for in our careers? Is it just about landing that highest paying gig?
Well, that's where this concept of the North Star comes
What
in
type?
that Rob talks about.
Mm.
It's about having that guiding principle for your career journey.
Okay,
You know, something that gives you a sense of purpose,
Yeah.
that goes beyond just a paycheck. He even shares this really awesome quote from his grandma Janie. She always said, "You'll know when you know." Isn't that great?
I love that.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's like that deep inner knowing
Mhm.
that we all have
Yeah.
when we're on the right path.
Yeah. I love that.
Sometimes we overthink things, but we already know what feels right.
Yeah, and it makes me think of another quote that he shared that I really liked from Charlie Tremendous Jones.
Oh, yes.
You are not born to make right or wrong decisions.
Right.
You were born to make decisions and then make them right.
Ooh, good one.
And it's just it takes the pressure off.
Exactly.
I don't need to have all the answers right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just make a decision.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, adjust.
That's all about action.
Right.
Action,
adjust.
Trust your gut and adjust as you need.
Exactly.
You learn, you grow through experience.
Yeah.
But even when you have that clear North Star, the job search can still feel lonely
Oh, yeah.
and overwhelming, right?
For sure.
Which is why the next thing is so important.
Okay.
Tribe.
Ah, yes. The power of community.
Yeah.
So often we're trying to tackle these big life changes all by ourselves, but Rob stresses that importance of having that support network. Your personal cheer squad
Yes.
to help you through those ups and downs of a job hunt.
You need that.
Yes. So imagine you've got a group of people, they get it, they're going through the same things, they can offer encouragement, advice, even resources.
Yeah.
This could be other job seekers,
Yes.
mentors, or even just friends and family.
For sure.
Yeah. Who believe in you. It's about sharing the journey,
Yes.
lifting each other up.
I got it.
But, okay, how do we actually build this tribe?
Yes.
And how do we make sure it's actually helpful?
That's the key.
Yeah.
It really is. And it can be tough to find those people, especially when you're feeling, discouraged. But trust me,
Yeah.
they're out there.
Okay, so we've got honesty, intuition, tribe. We're marketing ourselves authentically. We found our North Star.
Yes.
Let's be real, though.
Yeah.
For a lot of folks out there,
For sure.
salary,
Yes.
still a major factor when you're looking for a job. So what does Rob have to say about that?
Well, he actually says something pretty bold.
Okay.
He says, people do not have an interest in working for blank anymore.
Ooh.
Basically saying the highest salary isn't always the most important thing.
I am very intrigued. Fill in the blank. What's the missing piece here?
Okay, so he doesn't explicitly say what goes in that blank, but based on the context, I think he's talking about companies that prioritize profits
Yeah.
over people.
Okay.
It's about recognizing your well-being and your values.
Mm-hmm.
Those matter just as much as that paycheck.
Okay.
It's not all about the money.
I am picking up what you are putting down. It's not just about what you earn. It's that whole package, the company culture,
Totally.
leadership style, the work-life balance.
It's a huge deal these days.
It's a huge deal. We spend so much of our lives at work.
I know.
It's got to be a place where we can actually thrive.
For sure. It should be.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why it's so important to actually do research on those potential employers, understand their work environment and make sure it's a good fit
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
It's like dating. You wouldn't just marry the first person who asks you out.
Yeah.
Right? You want to get to know them.
Right.
You want to see if you share the same values, make sure there's a genuine connection there.
Such a good analogy. I love that. So we're not just applying for jobs.
No.
We're also interviewing those potential employers.
Yes.
Okay. And just like in any good interview, preparation, it's key.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of preparation, we cannot forget about the actual interview process itself.
Yes, the interview. Oh, the interview. It can be so nerve-wracking.
Oh.
Yeah. But Rob has some fantastic tips on how to approach interviews.
Yeah.
With confidence and finesse.
Yeah.
It's not about memorizing answers. It's about showcasing your authentic self.
Okay.
And connecting with the interviewer on a human level. Okay.
Which is so important.
So important, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think for a lot of people, me included,
Yeah.
we walk into that interview, it just feels like this high-stakes situation.
It is.
Right. You got sweaty palms. You're overthinking every answer. You're just rambling.
Totally.
Any advice on how to nail those interviews, but also kind of enjoy the process?
He says, ditch the canned responses.
Okay.
Focus on telling your story,
Okay.
but in a way that highlights your unique skills
Okay.
and experiences. Think of it like you're creating a mini movie trailer for your career.
Oh, I like that.
Right.
A movie trailer for my career. That's way better
Way more exciting.
than just listing off things from my resume.
Oh, yeah. It's like showcasing the greatest hits
Okay.
and leaving them wanting more.
Okay. I like that. But how do you actually do that? What makes a good story in this context?
So think about those key moments in your career that really demonstrate your strengths, your problem-solving skills.
Your ability to learn and grow.
Okay.
So maybe you spearheaded a really successful project.
Yeah.
Maybe you overcame a major obstacle.
Yeah.
Maybe you took a risk that totally paid off.
Okay.
Weave those experiences into a compelling narrative that really showcases your personality
Okay.
and your passion
Right.
for what you do.
So it's not just listing my achievements, it's conveying the why behind the what, the passion, the drive.
Yeah, the lessons learned.
Right. Okay. Basically, bring my resume to life. Yes, exactly. I love that. Okay, so we're telling stories.
Telling stories.
What about, and you mentioned this earlier, but I think it's so important, that mindset shift,
Yeah.
right? Because for a lot of us, we walk into that room
Oh, yeah.
and it's just fear,
Fear, anxiety.
self-doubt.
Totally.
How do we shift that perspective?
Shift that perspective. Instead of walking in there with all that baggage, imagine you're meeting a potential mentor, a collaborator, or even a friend.
Okay, so we're shifting our mindset.
Shift that mindset.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there are those really tricky questions they love to throw at you.
Yeah.
Tell me about a time you failed.
Ugh,
What's your greatest weakness?
my least favorite.
What do we do about that?
Well, those dreaded behavioral interview questions,
Okay, yeah.
it can feel like a trap, but they're actually trying to see how you think on your feet.
Okay.
How do you handle challenges?
Yeah.
What have you learned from your experiences?
Right. So it's not about having the perfect answer. It's about being honest,
Totally.
self-aware, showing that you are continuously learning.
Right on. It's about showcasing that resilience
Yeah.
and your willingness to learn from those mistakes.
Okay. So we talked about those tricky questions, and you said this earlier, but it's something I always forget.
Oh, tell me.
Remember, you're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you.
Yes, two-way street.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Please ask questions.
Ask questions about the company culture, team dynamics,
Yeah.
growth opportunities.
For sure.
I have to admit, I always forget to do that.
I know.
But it's so important.
We get so focused on impressing them,
Yeah.
We forget that we have a choice too.
Right.
It's our choice whether we want to work there or not.
Two-way street.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And speaking of two-way streets, That brings us to another crucial aspect.
Ooh, what's that?
Negotiation. Making sure you're valued
Okay.
and compensated fairly for your skills,
Yeah.
your contributions.
Okay, negotiation, not my strong suit at all.
Oh, I get it.
I always feel intimidated.
Yeah.
Like, am I gonna lowball myself?
Right.
Am I gonna come across as too demanding?
Oh, for sure. It feels like such a high-stakes situation.
Yes.
Well, Rob actually dedicates a whole chapter
Okay.
to this in his book, and it's actually surprisingly empowering.
Okay.
He breaks it all down,
Okay.
step by step, really manageable.
Okay.
Emphasizes knowing your worth,
Okay.
doing your research,
Yeah.
and being prepared to walk away if the offer doesn't align with your values.
So it's not about being greedy
No, not at all.
or demanding, right? It's about advocating for myself.
It's about knowing, like, what you deserve and what you're worth.
Yeah.
You know, and making sure that you're entering into, like, a mutually beneficial partnership.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, because it's a partnership.
it is a partnership.
Not just me begging for a job.
Right, exactly.
Okay, and it's not just salary.
No, benefits,
Yeah.
vacation time,
Yeah.
flexible work arrangements,
Yeah.
professional development opportunities, even the option to work on projects that, like, align with your passions.
Right.
You know,
It's about designing a job that fits your life.
yes. It's not settling, it's designing.
I love that. It's like shifting the focus from scarcity to abundance, from settling to designing.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah. And speaking of abundance, there's another element Rob talks about that I think might surprise some people.
Tell me.
It's giving back,
Oh, interesting.
even during your job search.
When you're looking for a job.
I know, it sounds counterintuitive.
Right.
Because I feel like I'm so focused on just getting a new job.
Yeah.
I don't even have time to, like, breathe,
Right. Exactly.
let alone volunteer or, like, mentor somebody.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
But when you shift that focus from what can I get to what can I contribute,
Yeah.
things start to shift.
Okay.
You make a positive impact, you expand your network, you build new skills, you open yourself up to those unexpected opportunities.
Okay.
So it's all about the energy, you know.
All right, so give me some examples. What does giving back actually look like in this context?
It could be volunteering your skills
Okay.
for a cause that you're passionate about, maybe mentoring someone who's just starting out
Yeah.
in your field,
Okay.
maybe even sharing your knowledge, your expertise
Yeah.
through online content.
Okay, so it's like networking, but with a purpose.
You're not just exchanging business cards.
You're
building genuine connections,
yeah.
contributing to something meaningful.
You're not just taking, you're giving.
Exactly. You never know where those connections might lead.
All right.
You know, you might meet someone who's hiring or who knows someone who's hiring or who just inspires you
Yeah.
to explore new possibilities.
So it's not just about what's in it for me.
Right.
It's about kind of creating that ripple effect
Totally.
of positive energy that ultimately just benefits everybody.
Yeah. It all comes back around.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into Rob's book,
Yeah.
what is the one key takeaway that you want our listeners to remember?
You have more power
Ooh.
than you realize to design a career
Okay.
that aligns with your values,
Okay.
your passions, and your purpose.
I love that.
It's not about settling
Yeah.
for just a job.
Right.
It's about creating that fulfilling
Yeah.
work life that lights you up.
And how do we actually do that? What's the first step?
Start by listening to your intuition.
Hmm.
What are those inner nudges telling you?
Yeah.
What kind of work truly excites you?
Yeah.
What impact do you want to make in the world?
Okay.
Once you have that clarity,
Yeah.
you can start taking action.
And you don't have to figure it all out at once.
No, definitely not.
All right.
It's a journey,
It's a journey, not a destination.
not as destination.
It's taking small steps, experimenting, learning, adjusting course as needed.
Exactly.
So embrace the process, celebrate the wins. Don't be afraid to ask for help along the way.
Ask for help, yes.
Remember, you've got a whole tribe out there
You've got your tribe.
cheering you on.
Absolutely.
So, to our amazing listener,
Yes,
we hope this deep dive has sparked some new ideas,
I hope so.
inspired you to take action.
Take action.
Go out there, embrace the journey, and create a career that makes you proud.
Yes. We're here to support you.
We're here to support you every step of the way.